So finally, it's that time of the year where we get the new iPhone 15s announced and the new Apple Watch. At first glance, I thought that there wasn't really much updates on the new iPhone 15s because I was so disappointed of last year's iPhone 14 and 14 Plus. And if you didn't watch the video, make sure you watch it from the eye here. It's basically, last year, my relationship with the new iPhones was like weird because Apple didn't make much changes. They used the old processor. It was the regular iPhone 14s had that notch on top, and even they didn't sell well. But now with iPhone 15s, we actually have a redesign. We got the new dynamic island in. Yes, it has more bases, like bezels around the display, but it really doesn't make that much difference. We got the new dynamic island in. We got the new Pro camera, the iPhone 14 Pro of last year. We got that same camera with the same sensor, same megapixels, same everything on the new iPhone 15. And the back of the iPhone 15 is now frosted. It's not glassy like the older regular iPhones that we had in the past, which makes it more grippy in the hands and it feels good. And it also gonna look good because it's not gonna have smudges in the back like what we used to with the previous generations. And now with the regular iPhone 14, you can have 2x optical zoom because the phone will do a 2x crop from the sensor itself. It doesn't require a secondary lens, zoom lens anymore because we have so many megapixels, and now the phone can do a 2x crop from the main sensor, which I think is pretty cool, and it saves money as well. And the SOS satellite feature that lets you connect your phone with the satellite if you don't have any service, any Wi-Fi around, that we had with the iPhone 14s of last year, the Pros, we had now this year with the regular iPhone 15s. So you can say that basically the new shiny features that we had last year with the 14 Pros, now we get them with the new iPhone 15s, except the ProMotion. Now, here's the thing. You can't pay $800 for a phone without having at least 90 Hertz refresh rate, because it really changes the experience. And I'm not talking about gaming and, you know, high intensity tasks on your phone. I'm talking about everyday use. When you see the animations, when you see the opening animation of the app, my sister has the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'll show it to you guys. It's different. Yeah, it's a millisecond different, but when you open and you use the app and you swipe here and there, especially now in iOS, all of your interactions are done with swipes. So you want these animations to be smooth, and I know 60 Hertz on iPhones are good enough, they're smooth. And back in the day with the iPhone X and XS Max, Apple had the smoothest animations of all phones, but it's still 2023, at least put 90 Hertz. That's the only caveat to the iPhone 14s, honestly. And it's a turn off. It really turns me off. And it makes me like wonder. I know like most people are not gonna care, all right? Most people who are gonna buy the iPhone 15 are people who came from iPhone 6, 7, 8, X, and even older than that, so they're not gonna find the difference, but it's a good thing to experience. And now with the iPhone 14s, we get the A16 chip, which we had on last year's Pros. All of the features that we had on last year's 14 Pros now appear on the regular 15s. And finally, since 2012, we get USB-C. But on the regular iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, the data speeds are stuck at 2.0, which, you know, makes me itch a little bit because why? Just put regular USB-C in, come on. Like, it's not that big of a deal, right, Apple? Moving into the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max, which actually have changes. For the first time, titanium frame. Now, the features of titanium is basically more durable with less weight. It's kind of like carbon fiber in cars. You see cars with a carbon fiber frame, they are durable and lightweight at the same time, which is pretty good. It makes a pretty great mix. Now, here's the thing. Apple removed the silent switch. Now they rebranded it as an action button where you can do multiple tasks with it, not just switch it to silent mode or regular mode. And it's that nostalgic feel of iPhones. I feel like the identity of Apple is changing. Like, that silent switch was extremely iconic and it was known on the iPhone world. Now the identity is fading a little bit. But it doesn't matter because everything needs to be modernized, and Apple needs to think of creative ways on how to make this more efficient. And on the 15 Pros, we get 5x optical zoom for the first time, which actually looks pretty good. It looks like the DSLR look. And Apple, when it comes to, you know, video and photos, honestly, their color science and the way they process images and photos is just incredible. Look at the samples. I know these are like Apple samples. We gotta like test the phones ourselves and, you know, have our hands on them so we can give you real life results. But from the samples that Apple is showing us, looks pretty damn good. And the new colors now for the 15 Pros are regular titanium, blue titanium, black titanium, and they look super dull. It's like having a black car and a silver car. Like, they're regular colors. But on the other hand, with the regular 15 and the 15 Plus, we have those colorful, lovely colors. We have those colorful, lovely colors on the regular 15 and the 15 Plus. You know, the yellow, the pink, and all of those good stuff. Now let's move on to the Apple Watch Series 9, which we actually have pretty good updates on it. Usually in the past 2 to 3 years, we didn't have much of that big upgrade on the Apple Watches other than the slightly bigger display on the Series 7. But now we get a new chip. It's the S9, and Apple promises with, you know, better battery life. The problem with Apple is that they don't show how many milliamp hours does the, you know, the capacity of the battery has on any of the products. They just give you graphs that don't mean anything as much, and they give you hours, like, oh, you can, it's all day battery life, it's all day whatever. On their MacBooks, up to 16, up to 20 hours of video playback. But what does that mean in real life? Still, we gotta see, we gotta experience ourselves, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll let you guys know. And obviously, the new Pros get USB-C with a 3.0 data speed, which is super good for pro creators. Apple claims that in a future update, they're gonna unlock a feature that lets you use an external SSD and film your direct ProRes 4K video on it, which is super sick for pro creators and people like me who use an iPhone to film their videos instead of buying a professional camera that costs $2,000. These were the most important announcements that happened in that event, and thank you guys for watching the video. If you have any comments or questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments. And these were the most important parts of the event, the new iPhones and the new Apple Watch. Please make sure you comment on that video. You know, leave your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that the iPhone 15 is worth buying with that 60 Hz display? Have you ever experienced any other phone with a higher refresh rate other than 60? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel because a lot of new videos are coming up. And if you want to see if we as human species reach the peak of the smartphones and the peak of the inventions in that you know, piece of device which we call phones, click on that video right here, and as always, I'll see you later.